You're on.
Hello, Sharon. I told you I would take and send you a video of taking and sterilizing straw. I made this. You don't have to have something like this. You can use a 5-gallon bucket and you can drill holes out in the bottom. If you drill holes out in the bottom and you put it into something and you cover the straw with your lime water, then it will sterilize it just the same. But this was sort of more convenient when I did it, when I started doing it last year. So what I did is I took an old water bucket. I had to cut the top off, and I used a shower drain that I put in there, and I used a little bit of former gasket on it to take and do that. And I used PVC piping with where I could control it on and off, so that I could so I could put my straw in there, put the water on top of it, and once the water goes up on top of it and saturates the straw, I weigh it down. Then it sits for 16 hours, 16 to 24, and they recommended you don't go over 24 hours on it. And what I'm using for the lime, for the hydrated lime, is Mrs. Wedge's pickling lime, which you can find at any Walmart. Okay, and it's probably about $3 a bag. So this is regular tap water. I also ordered, what I ordered was litmus paper. Okay, so that you can take and get your pH test strips, and so that you can get your pH up high enough. And it's got, what it has is different colors here on it. And if you dip it in regular tap water, okay, and this is regular tap water here. You dip it in regular tap water, you'll see that it's not, the pH isn't that high. Okay, now mine's probably right around, my tap water is probably around a 7 or an 8, okay? But what you want to do is you want to get it up to a 14, I was told, to the color where it hits a 14. So you use your pickling lime to go ahead and do that. And if you're starting off small, you really don't need to have a big 50-pound sack, which if you're like me, you were trying to figure out what's going on. The first spawn that I got, I got from Aloha Medicinals, I think it was called. And now I just ordered some the other day. It came from Mushroom Cap. And that was, like I said, last year. They sent me a variety of pack. It had 12 different types in there. And this is only a 2-gallon thing of water. So with
Hey, that's my label.
Yeah, it is. Now, the other thing that you want to do is, after the straw has been sterilized, okay, you let it sit 16 hours, drain it out. Then what you do is you take and you pack your, and what I was using was laundry baskets. And what I'd do is I had a garbage bag and a laundry basket. I would put a little bit of straw in, and then what I would do is I would put, I weighed out to like 100 grams, which was probably about that big as far as the spawn went. What I would do is I'd put a little bit in each layer, keep tamping it down. Now they also said that you should put lime in with the straw so that it would hold the pH steady. Like you, I looked around at a lot of different types of lime, and what they recommended was something that was low in manganese, high in calcium. There's so many types out there. The one guy I read, he had put a thing up there where he was using oyster shells, and you said something about having a farm. So a lot of times in the feed stores you'll see just regular oyster shells. So basically I would have a laundry basket, a thing of just regular straw, okay, that I'd already sterilized. I put a little bit of straw in the laundry basket, and I put a little bit of that and a little bit of oyster shells, so the spawn and the oyster shells, and I'd pack it in here. Close up the bag real tight. And this year I'm going to actually do it in these bags here, which I have some access to. And I made a little baler to take and try to bale. Last year I had a bigger shelf system. My wife's now using it for the canning jars and stuff like that. But so this year I went out and I bought myself a real small thing because I thought, well, this is just a hobby. So I bought a real small unit from Tractor Supply. It was like 20 bucks. So now that I've dipped that in here, and you can see right now, and that was just with a couple spoonfuls. Okay, I'm up to, and it's 10, and now it's turning to almost like a 12. If you see, it's getting more purple. Okay, so I'll add a little bit more until, like I said, well, I've got to about the 14. And you probably don't even need to have the paper. It's not an exact science. I mean, it's not like you just want to have a very high pH in any of the water that you use. And that kills off any bacteria. What I like about this with the cold pasteurization is the fact that you can do this anywhere. You can do it out in your barn, or you can do it in your garage. It doesn't make a big mess in your kitchen. It's not like you have to use a pressure cooker and all that. Okay, now you see it's getting into into the darker purple. Okay, once I see it about like that, I'm good. That water there is real good to go. And all I'll do is I'll put this straw in there and dump that on top of it, cover it, and that's it. Let it sit for 16 hours. And I'll post another thing after I've packed the stuff up, where I'll show you me packing the stuff up, and I'll show you how they progress within a week. Thank you.